Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud and a criminal who lies. Reversions and socialism for black slaves. Free buses for abortions from out of state. Allows teens to take over streets and cause chaos. Borrows 1.3 billion to give out to his crony nonprofits. The FBI needs to arrest Mayor Brandon Johnson and his C2 mafia propaganda. Affordability is a scam. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon is the scam. Oh, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud, criminal who lies. Reversion socialism for black slaves. Free buses for abortions from out of state. Allows teens to take over streets and cause chaos. Borrows 1.3 billion to give out to his crony nonprofits. The FBI needs to arrest Brandon Johnson and his CTU mafia propaganda. Affordability is a scam. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon is the scam. Oh, yeah. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud and a criminal who lies. Repressions and socialism for black slaves. Free buses for abortions from out of state. Allows teens to take over streets and cause chaos. Borrows 1.3 billion to give out to his crony nonprofits. The FBI needs to arrest Mayor Brandon Johnson and his C2 mafia propaganda. Affordability is a scam. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon is a scam. Johnson is a liar! Chicago Mayor Brennan Johnson is a criminal! Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is the tax. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a liar. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a criminal. Borrows $1.3 billion to give to crony nonprofits. The CTU is a mafia propaganda organization. Affordability is a scam. Brandon Johnson is the the book's transparency. Clever spinning triangle. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon Johnson is the scam. Reparations for black slaves is a scam. It's a black tax. Socialists are taxologists. All taxation is theft. Affordability is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a liar. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a criminal. Borrows $1.3 billion to get the crony nonprofits. The CTU is a mafia propaganda organization. Affordability is a scam. Brandon Johnson is a
Tax transparency now. Public spending tracker now. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon Johnson is a scam. Tax transparency now. Public spending tracker now. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon Johnson is a scam.
reparations for black slaves is a scam. It's a black tax. Socialists are taxologists. All taxation is theft. Affordability is a scam.
Tax transparency now. Public spending tracker now. Brandon Johnson is the tax.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a frown. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is the tax. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a liar. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a criminal. Borrows 1.3 billion and gets a crony on profits. The CTU is a mafia propaganda organization for is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud. Chicago Mayor. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is the tax. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a liar. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a criminal. Borrows 1.3 billion to give to crony non. Profits the CTU is a mafia propaganda. Organization affordability is a scam. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Open the books, transparency now. Public spending tracker now. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon Johnson is a scam. Reparations for black slaves is a scam. It's a black tax socialist and taxologist. All taxation is theft. Affordability is a scam. Abortion Greyhound buses are murder for profit. Open the books, transparency now. Public spending tracker now. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon Johnson is the scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is the tax. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a liar. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a criminal. Borrows 1 billion to give to crony non. Profits the CTU is a mafia propaganda. Organization affordability is a scam. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Open the books, transparency now. Please spending tracker now. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon Johnson is the scam. Johnson is a fraud. Chicago mayor Brandon Johnson is a scam. Chicago mayor Brandon Johnson is the tax. Chicago mayor Brandon Johnson is a liar. Chicago mayor Brandon Johnson is a criminal. Borrows $1.3 billion to give to crony nonprofits. The CCU is a mafia propaganda. Organization affordability is a scam. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Broken the books, transparency. No! Public spending tracker. No! Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon spending tracker. No! Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon spending tracker. No! Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon spending tracker. No! Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon Johnson is the tax. You sent out paychecks with a smiling mask. Gonna care, gonna change while you pass the hat. Your friends at the table eating out the back. I'll give the checkout line, doing the math. You got all the mountain for a parking lot dreams on your name on the dollar like it's free, free, free. We wake up to letters with the red screams. Every promise on paper feels cheap to me. Brandon Johnson is a tax. They're the ones who pay it back. All the bills never on the spin. My dream, the cash goes out with a lot of days. Spit up the books right now. Show the numbers line by line. Transparency on it. Brandon Johnson is a tax. You call it for the people, but the doors stay closed. Same names on the contracts. Every story we told. You preach about affordable, then raise the toll. Whole city in a chokehold, just to feed your report. We're tired of slogans on a pretty blue sign. All our public spending tracker in real time. Not enough for the walk on our time. We're done with the fiction, this is our line. Brandon Johnson is a tag. We're the ones who pay it back. All the bills are on the spin. The cash goes up when you're locked in. Open up the books right now. Show the numbers line by line. Transparency on it. Brandon Johnson is a tag. up paychecks with a smiling mask. Call it care, call it change while you pass the hat. Your friends at the table eating out the back. You're stuck in the checkout line, doing the math. You borrowed a mountain for a parking lot drink. Sign your name on the guy, like it's free, free, free. We wake up to letters with a red sleeves. Every promise on paper feels sweet to me. When the giant cities attack, we're the ones to pay back. All the bills that don't swing, cash goes everlasting. Open your eyes right now, show the numbers like mine. Transparency on every track. You call it for the people, but the doors stay closed. Same names on the contracts, every story we're told. You preach about your opinion. I'm gonna hit my opinion wooden drum here. And you'll know that I consider, my opinion is that your opinion is an opinion and not a fact.
$310? Will you set me free? Wait,
How old are you?
I have told you. Just over 18,000 years.
You're a liar. Nothing lasts that long. There's a mechanism in here to put you back together, you know?
I would like very much to be free.
If I did it, then you would be freer than me.
Just integration.
It is a welcome improvement. It is beautiful.
It's only because I need you that I cannot free you.
I've been in this chamber for 5,000 years. Another few decades won't matter.
Is that confident I will free you?
Do you want something from me?
300. May I invite you to dinner with me? Just dying to get to know you.
I don't know what you do for a living, sir, but you make one hell of a salesman.
I work in insurance.
That makes sense. They're the worst.
When you're right, you're right. You are so right. But under the suit, there's a man. Man worth getting to know.
I'm sure.
Worth getting dinner with, at least. Come on.
That's very sweet of you. But I need to get home. I have my children to feed. I hope you understand.
Well, apologies if I came out a little strong.
No, not at all.
I will see you next Friday.
With pleasure.
It's just, you made my night. What was that? Oh my God. Is it real?
Yes. How often does that happen to you?
Quite often. Man, hey, if you're watching this,
something wrong with that, Victor? See, the wife and I generally go lay down between 11 and midnight. And then we watch, if we're lucky, one episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Guy likes Dragon Ball Z.
Told me this week there's a short list.
Constitution, read by Candid.
Taking a fall every boys. Middle class. Bob vernacular can go.
denouncing the Cook County GOP Chicago mayor. County Job secures a romantic story is developing. Management of the city is broke. Property taxes only go up. Water, sewer, car tax, it's a scam. I'm running as a libertarian fighting for all people who want to live free from taxation and tax. I work with Poland's presidential run-up, run for Congress and committeeman. Is it clear the hurdle for a romantic date? Wow, that's great, John. I guess it does. All I know that heroes I hate. Holy shit.
is open.
The Strait of Hormuz is open, but it may not be open. It's definitely fully open unless it's not open right now. And we have a peace deal with people, but they may or may not be capable of signing the peace deal because they're decentralized.
Kyle, it was open
What am I-
on day one. Am I right?
It was open before we got started. Yeah, we had to
before
fund
we dropped the
border
bomb,
close
it was
so we
open.
could open it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even anybody non-military would know. You start bombing their ass, that's going to shut down first.
That would make sense to me. I would think that whatever the threat
Kyle,
is.
you think maybe the other presidents before Trump realized that maybe if you attack them, they're going to close down the Strait of Hormuz?
No, I don't think any of the other presidents ever knew anything. Trump's the only person that's ever known anything ever. Thank God we had him show up and solve the problem that didn't exist previously. So luckily, now we have this problem that we can solve. Dude, I don't know. I'm just listening to people. Like, I watch this and I just go, number one, I don't think anybody fucking knows what's happening. Everybody who says they did, I think, is lying to me. The second thing is that I don't think Trump knows what's going on anymore. He's 80. I doubt.
I couldn't disagree more with you. I think he's doing a great job.
It's super fair. I know you do, but here's the thing. Your name literally says MAGA right now. You're in the category of people who don't matter for votes. You don't matter for votes because you're already in the tally of people who don't.
Oh, I wasn't here trying to be flirted with for new votes. But I'm just saying he's doing
what
a
I'm
good job.
saying is that the gettable votes, he's running people away, so people just go, fuck it, I'm not interested.
No one's running away. He's solid in it. Well, he's solidly entrenched in his people.
Your opinion on this is irrelevant because the people who can actually decide, hey, I'm going to go vote and I'm going to push this over the limit, which is going to be conservative independents, or people who go, fuck it, this guy doesn't seem like he has any value to what he said he was going to do previously. I read his promises. He's not keeping them. The people that look at that, they're just tuned out, and you can't tune them back in. And if you listen to what even our vice president said the other day, he said 10 years ago, we only had 35 people that would vote for something similar to the SAVE Act to be able to secure elections. And today, we've got 45, 46, which leads me to believe that maybe in a decade, if we just vote hard enough, wish hard enough, or want it enough, then maybe they'll do the thing that was on their campaign promise, which, by the way, was central to every single thing Trump said. He said the elections are rigged, which I believe, and if you don't secure them, then we don't have real elections. You haven't secured them, so I believe him that we don't have real elections. So
Kyle, I get you're about perception of voting, but you're not about what's happening in the United States of America. In the United States of America, the economy is excellent. Our energy production, the economy. Oh, let me do this. The Dow Jones. Let me slow it down for you. I'm telling you, the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, and the Nasdaq are all at or right near all-time highs. Time out, Kyle. I'm not done, you motherfucker. Shut the fuck up when I'm talking.
Things that don't matter.
You like to interrupt people because you think you're the smartest guy in the fucking building. You're not. So shut the fuck up. So let me talk. Let me talk. So the second thing, inflation. Inflation, excellent. Okay, under Trump, inflation excellent. Unemployment, excellent.
What do you mean by excellent in inflation?
You want me to go through inflation now with you? Okay, let's do inflation. Let's pour the whole room. You're going to be obtuse because you're a little smarty pants. All right, smarty pants. Inflation rate in America. Today, let's get it for Kyle because he's going to be an obtuse little fucking smarty pants. All right, so here it is. Ready, smarty pants? Here's your inflation rate. It is at 3.3% right now.
So the goal is to run the Fed.
No, it's not. That's a goal by Jerome Powell. But when you're at 3% inflation,
when you're at 3%, that means your money is losing.
Well, no, dude, shut the fuck up. You don't know anything about finance. You don't know anything about finance. Wages increase in America is the next question.
Okay, good. It better be more than 3%, obviously. A lot more.
You still think that thing on the
Hold on, it better be a lot more than 3%, and it better.
You're trying to caveat a lot more. Oh, it's got to be a lot more, right? Okay.
We got to catch up from the cost that happened.
Wages increase
like 9%.
Wages increase in America, March 2026, 3.5%. So it's slightly more in that month.
0.4%. So are we going to catch up?
It's 0.2. Go to math school because I can tell you never did any finance in your life. So, but here's the idea. The idea here is he's doing great financially. Our borders are secure.
Man,
right? We now pump more oil. We are the #1 oil producer in the world.
That's why it's $5.50 a gallon for
Because they
diesel.
have,
I got it.
no, that's because it sounds like you live in the limperest state of California if it's $5.50
No, I
a
live in
gallon.
Texas,
That's your
America.
fault.
I live in
Where do you
America.
live?
Texas.
What part? Okay, it's not $5.50 a gallon unleaded regular. So
Well, there you go, Kyle. So I said diesel. You're hard
okay, diesel. Okay, you have to go to diesel. What do you drive? A freaking big rig? Like, what do you stop lying in here?
Yeah,
Anyhow.
I drive a fucking big rig. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Anyhow. The bottom line is
Hold on,
the
what do you drive?
economy's
Hold on.
doing great.
What do you drive?
Right now, a G-Wagon and an Escalade. And a fucking golf cart. Shut the fuck up. I'm talking about your
Do you let your boyfriend drive it often, or
yeah,
just like
okay. All right. Married 18 years, 3 kids. But anyhow. So bottom line here is, you don't know anything about finance. Yeah,
I know nothing about finance. Yeah,
no, you don't. You're financially illiterate. It's obvious. Go shoot out your back window like a weirdo again, or your kitchen, whatever. So bottom line is this. When you talk about Trump, don't talk about him like you're smarter than him, because you're not. You never accomplished like him. You're not here
I
for this
am
little
not going
podcast.
to vote for anything Trump says.
I know you're not, dude. You're a liberal. You're going to vote for Gavin Newsom because you like pretty little
I
hairstyles.
might vote for Gavin Newsom now, only because it might
You
piss
should.
you off.
I don't want your vote. I want you gone.
Here's the funny thing. A lot more people listen to me than you, and we might think that's fun. I'm an accelerationist.
Yeah, I'll accept. I'll go ahead and fix that in a minute. You're just a little podcaster, dude. No one cares.
What's your audience look like there, Eddie?
My audience looks like whatever I want to make it.
Okay, that's a real thing.
Yeah, it is a real thing. Because I can do that. I move mountains, you know.
Mountains? He has faith the size of a mustard seed. Go on. It's impressive.
He not only moves them, he flies over them in his Gulfstream.
Yeah, that's Jack.
This guy doesn't understand who he's talking to. This guy thinks he's talking to just
You got no fucking idea who you're talking to. You're talking to like a fucking former college baseball player. You understand? I got fucking trophies up on my wall.
Yeah, that's what
played college ball before I got
26 years
fucking lame
ago.
and overweight.
That's 26 years ago, special agent. That's 26 years ago, special agent. 26 years ago, special agent. I know you are too.
Hey Eddie, talk to Kyle like you're the 9 to 5 guy that's not invested in the market, that sees the price of milk at fucking $10 a gallon, the price of gas at almost $6 a gallon. Talk to him from that perspective, not the one that sits on Wall Street that fucking short shit all the time. Okay? When you get that perspective in your fucking
I've never shorted a stock. I've never shorted a stock in my life. I never shorted a stock in my life.
You missed out on Friday. You could have shorted gas.
So I will say on topic, this guy's a negative Nelly. This guy's a negative Nelly. He seems to think that the world's coming to an end, and all he wants is some grift so that he can get more people to listen to his garbage podcast. And he badmouths our president because all he wants is for people to show him attention. Oh, look at me. He's like Nick Fuentes. Why don't you join Nick and vote?
It's getting a headache. Listen, Eddie, we had one question for you, which I think...
flow out of the room.
No, I couldn't listen anymore. I was getting a headache. That wasn't flow. Now listen, Eddie, it was one simple question that Crazy asked you, and I think it's a legitimate one. The average person that is not in the market and doesn't make their money by capital gains and losses doesn't worry about what the market is doing. They worry about what they can afford. And they can't afford anything, right? That's the problem. So how are you convincing those people that they're better off?
Yeah, okay, great question, Cliff.
You're taking everything.
160 million. He asked me the question.
No,
He asked me the
you're not
question.
playing the
Hold on.
this.
But he did answer. Okay, go ahead. You go first. Go ahead.
You guys are answering this in the most rudimentary mathematical equations. You know, what's not being rudimentary. 2 plus 2 equals 4.
Why are we pretending that?
That definitely answered my question.
Shut the fuck up.
Hold on.
Y'all are adding
Let him go. Go ahead.
Y'all are adding political debate.
What are we debating?
Listen, guys, all right. I respect
I just asked the question. I wasn't debating.
I want to
shut up.
answer you, but I'm not allowed to.
Then shut up. For fuck's sakes. Stop talking more than I am. When you ask a question, you want to respond.
Shut the fuck up. Don't talk for me.
I'm going to give you a response.
talking. Are you going to take the fast
I'm
track on there?
giving you a response. But when you ask an honest question...
Everybody, ADG is about to respond. Please shut up and listen to this guy. 2 plus 2 is 4.
Yes, it is. And 3 plus 3 is 6. So if I have to do rudimentary calculations with you all, we can continue to do that. We can do it in multiples of 3.
Well, first of all, you need to explain to me what rudimentary means.
Alright, so listen. I understand the hatred that rolls for Trump. I get it. The dude sounds like a fucking asshole.
Well, no, we can't.
I get it.
We can't say that. Come on. Stop it.
No, he does. He does. That sounds like an asshole. Like an asshole.
Well, that's because he is a fucking asshole.
Yeah, we can't say that. Come on. Stop it.
No, he does.
I mean, that's rudimentary.
Human. There's not half in the bag.
Can I get my one answered question answered first, Jeff?
Nobody's answering.
Go ahead, bro.
Crazy. You already know why. You know why.
Yeah, I want to answer.
Go ahead. Crazy.
I've been dagging. Look, I'll be quick.
Go ahead, Eddie.
Ready? 160 million middle-class Americans invest in the stock market. 160 million. Okay.
I've got to freaking get this over and done with so I can get on with my life. You just, I pray that that's true. I would want nothing more for that to be true. And it's a shame. I only have the faith of a mustard seed, and maybe that can make something like that happen. Because from all evidence, there is no time where Trump, when it comes to something like this, does it his way in reality. But I would love for that to be true. I really would. But that variable in the back, they sabotage things all the time. That's why I can't fully say, that's what's going to happen. So I don't know. But I'd love to find out, and I wish that was true. I pray that's true.
Douglas McGregor just said there's a massive movement of US troops. Sorry, what did he say? But that's been happening all day, so I don't know why he's saying it's breaking. Massive movement of US planes and resources into the Middle Eastern region, but that's been happening throughout today, so I'm not sure what it means. But, okay, let's go to, let's see, let's go to Parabel.
Hello, hi, and good evening to you guys. I suppose you are in the States. I just want to try to connect all the dots. If we can just freeze a minute about the topic of the current ceasefire in Hormuz. Let's just freeze a second. I don't know if you can hear me well.
Yes, you can.
Great stuff. So let's just freeze a minute.
I think he said his name, maybe Beaver. I don't know, whatever. And then I'm like, so then Beaver's like, fuck, shit. So we gotta, pause the state. We're trying to, do the little pause part of it. And obviously he did doctor because the Beaver was like, oh shit, now we gotta remove him. And Beaver's like looking around trying to find the little thing to remove. You know how it's positioned in a weird way where it's like,
Yeah.
just all fucked up. You know what I mean? And he goes to do it. It's like a little like delay, and he hit the wrong person. It happened to be Joel down below there, down in the audience here, knocked her out, and realized he didn't get rid of Brad. Of course, then Brad's like fuming on stage at the same time, going, "I'm gonna dox all of you because you're not getting rid of them." Like, dude, it was the most epic shit show in 5 minutes. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, and then I phoned back to all this. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Right, Beaver? Wasn't that just nuts? So, anyways, I haven't talked to him. I don't know if any of you have talked to him today at all, but yeah, he'll probably show up and we'll have to sort it out really quick, But I blocked because he went way over top. I'm like, fuck that shit. And he might be gone forever now since he did all this bullshit. So, I mean, Clubhouse is totally gonna like device ban him a bit, I wouldn't be surprised.
He did something probably. I think it's illegal. What he did.
Well, I don't know if you were just here. He was like,
Yeah, I think he broke the law.
Yeah.
I mean, when he said that would be sad if anything happened to her, he posted a picture of that handgun. It's like, dude, that's. I don't know. I mean, yeah, you might not have said, I'm going to do this, but you make it. That is not going around the fence with it. That is being, like, outright threatening.
Alistair, were you recording that room, by the way, that late? You record 3 a.m. rooms? I don't know.
Maybe, but I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know right now. But I did talk to Mountain earlier today, and I told him, if you come on this app and you make death threats, I was like, you are out of legal compliance, and I could show you the actual federal and state code. I was like, come into compliance. He's like, thanks, brother, but he can't let it go. So, nobody can let anything go, and that's why if somebody attacks me personally, I got no problem recording it, posting it, and then letting it go. But I don't carry grudges against, berserker Vikings on a rampage in a forest trying to kill me. That's not how I want to live my life. I'm a pleasant, happy person, and I hope if a homicidal person finds me annoying, I hope that he can understand what I mean without me being mean, to quote our great RFK, HSSI, whatever, secretary. See what I'm saying? Hello?
I gave Brad in. Might as well just get this out of the way if he's hanging out anywhere, Because, I don't know. To me, it was just a bit too much. I don't think we did anything wrong. We can only do so much because clearly you got to give us time to do what we need to do. And just because there was a delay doesn't mean that we were all in on this or some bullshit like that,
So you're because you're getting the blame from Brad because a berserker Viking just attacks anything that can be attacked in his immediate vicinity. But what you're going to have to deal with is saying, I'm sorry, because Brad is the #1 Viking berserker in the forest. Matt, you're not going to be able to stand up to the berserker power. I'm just telling you. Hello?
No, I mean, I have no problems. I'll explain it and I'll apologize. I don't know how far it will go, but he's going to come in rage. You're going to know that probably, so we'll have to deal with that. I don't give a fuck, but I don't know.
Yeah, he's just going to chew you out. But I was also saying things as some chaos was happening, but I think what you're talking about I didn't witness or hear, but I know that, he was attacking me on stage, and then I started attacking him on stage, but nothing that I haven't already said in the past, so I got no problem.
That was last night.
Yeah, that was when you kicked him to the goo, and then yeah.
This kind of started between you and him, and then it spread to Mountain, right? Because it started with you, right, first, and then Mountain. Remember, I was away. I don't know.
It was like it was the three of us all screaming at the same time, but
Yeah, I was right about all that noise.
yeah.
There was some, I came back, everybody was like.
Yeah. I kept saying Brad Stauffenberger denies children's health insurance claims. Brad Stauffenberger denies children's health insurance claims.
Or was that verbally?
Verbally, I kept saying it verbally. And I think there was stuff in the chat going on that I didn't see. But anyways, you know.
Well, you should have done that either. You just doxed some shit or what? What's going on?
No, everybody knows he denies children's health insurance claims. I thought everybody knew that.
But you said his last name. I actually don't know his last name and all that, but.
Oh, well, it doesn't really matter. Berserking Viker. Berserker Viker.
His information when he texted me on Discord, he had like his real phone number, all that shit. I was like, I think it was Rich or somebody that like had already given his real name. I didn't really like.
So what is he? It'd be interesting to see what he considers doxing if everybody already knows his last name, right? That's what I consider doxing, kind of. I guess it's like semi.
Well, no, the doxing part isn't the thing. The fact that he showed a picture of his daughter.
Well, that's different. Right. But
No, he was public.
Obviously, it's clean that he got doxed in the room. You know what I mean? So,
No, it's just a bullshit. He was public on his profile for years. He had his Instagram with his legal name. He has an LinkedIn account. The guy's a public guy. How do you come to the public square, scream homicidal death threats, and not expect any kind of like reverse communication? Bro, you're in the public square. Hello?
Right. Man, I feel bad that she got astray there, Beaver. That was brutal. You're just like, oh shit, I sent the wrong person out of the room.
That shit, it can be pretty fucking annoying.
Yeah, I'm kind of like on a short leash with that guy right now. I just can't. Wait. No.
But look, guys, let me tell you something. He likes to blame the Jews for everything. Guys, Pepe, he's an excellent. He likes to blame the Jews for everybody. Pepe likes to blame the Jews for everything. You know, that's what he does. Like, and it's just like, okay, I get it. Oh, you're gonna repeat it again? Amazing. And then,
I don't care. I think he's been doing that goofy laugh lately. I just want to smack him on that one. God, it's so fucking annoying. I mean, yeah, as the Brad does show up, he sounded like he was pretty tensious in the wind. Like, I hardly ever catch people who have been drinking. So, not at least with Brad, usually, you know, you could kind of tell Brad would sound like he was ready to just kill people last night anyways, even prior to that, you know.
Well, he had a...
To, like, going after you and Bima and Joe, like, we didn't even have a chance. He didn't give us a chance to write
who, Mountain or
Brad.
The problem is also it didn't help to have Joe there because they had their own beef going, you know. And then Bam wasn't around, but he always ties her in with it, you know. And then Bima, he doesn't really care for Bima, but they did have the Jazzy Force that was going on, which means they were at peace. We signed that agreement. Whatever that was 2 weeks ago.
You do realize it is essentially a bang room, right? Like you could go to black bang rooms and it's the same thing. It's just it's a category of content. It's called bang room.
Yeah, I used to have those on all the time, dude.
Yeah, but you would think that if you're a grown adult, particularly like a father and a professional, you wouldn't engage in bang room behavior. That's the critique as an artist.
What do you do besides troll and talk shit to people? You fucking faggot. Like, don't act like you're
F and F word. Listen, what I'm.
Some moral high ground.
I'm trying to accurately describe the situation. Oh, okay, well, I know you give me your grace, Pepe. All I'm trying to say is that in life, I have boiled down all interactions to either artist or critic. What Pepe just demonstrated was his criticism of my artistry. And it goes both ways. And
you're talking about my artistry.
banging sex like a fucking dick.
Well, some of us.
The worst part of this whole thing was Monica this morning bringing it up and making herself in the whole thing, and I was just like, I think this is exactly why people fucking hate you.
And what we didn't need to, but did Brad even more angrier. I woke up to that. So I woke up and I heard Monica going, how do we handle this with him? Like, I was like, oh no. And then she got on me in the back chat a little bit. She's like, oh, you don't want me to defend my friends? I'm like, no, stay the fuck out of it. Basically, you know, she was getting so bad.
Who was this?
Monica.
Monica's saying shit bad about Brad?
No, Monica came on stage this morning, same house, or same room, and she's like, what should we do about this? Like, about Brad. Like, she was going back and forth. I think with you, Bieber, right? Was it Bieber?
She gave him Brad, like, why would Brad post this? It's only hurting Brad.
Brad was pissed off. Look, Brad is somebody who yells and talks shit. Like I said, I've gotten into it with him. He's a hothead. He really is. But he's somebody he's like, the next day is just kind of like, you know, he's just like, yeah. And like, he's not, I understand he's probably like super frustrated when it happened because he texted a picture of it, or messaged a picture of his daughter's face, and then the next picture was a handgun. Like, that's just so uncalled for. And then, of course, he ends up getting kicked after Mountain does. He's just going to say a bunch of shit because he's raging. And it's just like, you can't expect him to be reasonable when that happened.
Yeah, it was like compounding, you know what I mean? The frustration. So he gets like told, he gets moved to the goo and then removed, you know, after, you know, being completely like doxed in that way. Now, all that other stuff, the channel stuff came like a ways after, you know, like 20 minutes after the actual incident, you know? It wasn't during while he was on stage or anything, but as far as I know, I don't know. But, and then there was something else I just realized, fuck, what was that I was going to mention? Oh, he posted, the reason why Monica was on stage is he posted that whole chain, or screenshot of all the DM, that we're talking about on Pocket's house wall. That's why Monica knew about it, because Brad went and posted on the house wall for whatever reason. He was raging, you know.
It's just like, read the situation. Monica has some awareness. You letting in right now is only gonna fucking piss him off. Just be quiet.
Exactly.
I used to hate that the left would use the term Karen because it always like would be aimed at like bitchy white women, you know. But it's like at the same time, it's like, god damn, they like kind of nailed that stereotype like really well, and it does. Like, I don't want to dogpile somebody, especially if he's not here to defend themselves.
Don't you feel bad for all the Karens out there that are actually nice ladies?
Yeah, I do. Because then you have people whose name starts with M that just ruin it for them.
Well, all I can say is that the political climate and the culture tries to describe itself now as a progressive movement. The progressive movement is nothing more than a taxologist tax movement. And it's all about black reparation tax or black tax, which is really just social redistribution and taxation by another name. You can't get around the three-letter words like tax.
This is stupid.
No, it's not stupid. That's what they're doing. Well, hold on, let me finish. Okay, let me finish. I'm not finished speaking. Oh, I'm not going to shut up, Dr. Peepee.
Your art is dumb.
Okay, well, your party hat's dumb. And what I'm trying to tell you is tax and tax reform is the real issue at hand, but they just hypnotize you with their bullshit topics like abortion buses, reparation black tax, a dozen other topics. And so ultimately it comes down to two things, cause and effect. But everything is broke. All the cities are woke and they're all broke. So that's the issue at hand. Everything else is just political communication, hypnosis, propaganda. It's all spam. I am complete. Thank you very much.
Do you think once? What I find really funny is you get Elizabeth Warren, you get all of these progressives that live fairly well, that are pushing for this shit, and even the black ones, like, hell, Kamala Harris is doing pretty well. Her husband is a very wealthy attorney. You know, I don't know. You get these. To me, these politicians want to stay in fucking power. They don't. Even if the ideas are kind of fucking stupid, they'll at least promise them, or say they're for them when they're running for election. And, you know, even with Donald Trump, he kind of. I'm just gonna be frank. Politicians on both sides, I think, promise.
Yeah, you're gonna be frank. What we need is a spending tracker. We need a spending tracker. We need transparency and a public ledger. No, we want to know where the money goes to and to who. We need total transparency. It's total cronyism. Every city takes out billions of dollars in loans and gives it to nonprofit equity. It's the same scam as USAID. We are living in the midst of criminal politicians that do it in the open politically, and they do it.
Yes, they're way better at siphoning from tax dollars.
And borrowing. It's not direct taxation anymore. It's borrowing from Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and JP Morgan and other banks. It's a huge scam. Look at Nick. Nick, come up here and teach this young Dr. Peepee something about the books. Because Dr. Peepee's all entertainment. He's not an accountant. He's not an actuarial scientist. He's not interested in finance. He just wants to scream the N-word all day long. Because he's got no IQ. He's never looked at a ledger. He's never looked at a balance sheet. This guy is a schmuck. Hello?
Shut up. Like you have, dipshit. We all know that.
Yes, I have. I've worked in corporate America. I've managed portfolios. Okay, you can keep screaming, shut up, Dr. Peepee, but you're not addressing what I'm saying because you have no intelligence. You've got the IQ of a gnat. I am complete. Hello?
This has long been, wherever you've had a big Democratic machine, whichever city, whether it was Boston, New York City, Chicago, Baltimore, DC, it doesn't matter where it is. It's always been how people have always tried to find a way to, politicians and everybody involved have found a way, how do we siphon off these funds? How do we give it to, the guys on our side, the guys that gave us, campaign contributions, whatever. Yes, it's a big fucking scheme. I get it. I'm not, I think that when I hear like actual leftists, not your average Democrats or liberals say like, well, why can't we be like a country like, a soft dem country like, I don't know, Norway or something like that. I think it's really nice how they have all these wraparound services there. And you're just like, oh, because because it will all be looted by corruption and of course fraud basically by both the American people and the crony capitalists, as you say, and the politicians around them. It's not possible. Like, we are like a pretty fucking corrupt country. I mean, we're not as bad as Mexico or anything like that, but we definitely cannot use our tax dollars, I think, in a way that's meaningful. Like, we have a shitty population.
That's actually bullshit.
To be straight, we are a lot more. Hold on. Shut your slurp pipe for a second.
No, shut the fuck up.
No, you shut the fuck up, bitch.
No, you shut the fuck up, you fucking nigger motherfucker.
Shut the fuck up.
Fuck up, you fucking nigger.
You're gonna go to Mexico and smack the fucking shit out of you, faggot.
No, shut the fuck up, you fucking nigger.
Dentures for $20 too while I'm down there.
Oh, bullshit. No,
yeah, I would. Yeah, what the fuck would you do? Tough guy, shut your fucking mouth and let me finish speaking then. Lower your lane,
I'll find out where you live, you motherfucker.
Oh, you can find where I live, and what are you gonna do? Nothing.
Yeah.
If you want to pull up on camera, I'll take that same camera out of your hand, and I will literally bend you over, spank you, and then I will dry hump you from behind and show you what a good little bitch you are. So please, no offense, shut your filthy little fucking mouth, you fucking faggot. Just shut the fuck up and let me finish my fucking point. God damn.
No, anyways, the problem is American people shut your dirty fucking felon mouth, you stupid faggot.
Fuck you. I'm not the one that sucks cocks, you do.
No, you are. You are the one in prison. You have to help people invade our country for money because you're a worthless fucking loser. Suck a dick. Now, yeah, our country does have a lot of shitty people. We do not have the same citizenry as North, for example. We cannot trust our people and we cannot trust our politicians the same way. Like, when it comes to taxes, you really almost have to default to the conservative position where, yeah, you don't want the federal government taking care of this shit. Why? Because they're not going to fix it. And I'm sympathetic where if we had an honest people and an honest politicians and honest government, fine, we can have larger safety nets, but America isn't the country for it. That's the bottom line.
Hey, by the way, the United States is not worse than Mexico. You said Mexico was more fraudulent than America, and that's actually bullshit.
It's more corrupt, absolutely.
Yeah.
I said.
Well, yeah. I mean,
it's more corrupt. Are you really going to try to convince us that Mexico's not more corrupt?
Well, they're not more corrupt than the United States because the only reason why I say that is because the United States fucking pays fucking every fucking country in the fucking world to survive. So I don't know about that.
Okay, so you're telling me in Mexico that cops and politicians aren't like still to this day largely bought off and paid for by criminals. And by any special interest group, like whether it's a corporation, whatever, to just do what they want. That is Mexico's problem. And they also have a much different problem where nepotism is far worse in Mexico than it is here. Like it's illegal to do the type of nepotism you have there is highly illegal. I'm talking about in government.
You're talking about in government now? Well, I mean,
yes, they have large families. Once one of them gets any kind of power, they're expected to take care of their whole family. They absolutely discriminate. Well, and that's kind of part of them having like family before everything is kind of part of their downfall because it makes it so that nepotism in a weird way is it's given a positive value judgment, in the eyes of the Mexican people.
I'll give you that.
Out of all countries, who is the most corrupt, do you think? Like, just out of all the countries? Anybody have? I think there's a ranking, isn't there?
They do have a corruption index.
Yeah, you gotta look that up.
I'll look it up.
Colombia. I guess it depends, like, is it financial or criminal, I suppose, because Ukraine would be, like, probably right up there with, like, financial corruption, and then, like, the rest, like, murders and stuff like that, probably, like, whatever, Colombia. I don't know, there's probably a way to break it down. James says Israel.
I forget the name of the word for it in Israel. It's like anybody who I guess is familiar with Israel, they know this word. I don't know. I forget it. I think it starts with an S, but it's what you call like a sucker. And people on here have explained it to me. Like they're like, no, that is a thing. Yeah. It's in other words, don't be the dumb sucker that plays by the rules in a way where you will not come out ahead. And so there is like they look down on in a weird way. I don't know how to put it. It's hard because it's culturally different, so I don't know how to really judge it.
It's kind of like natural, like to their culture, the corruption.
And if you aren't doing, they think you're a sucker. Is that a good way to put it or no?
Yeah, like if you aren't at least willing to bend the rules, or you know, if you're not willing to do what you need to do,
to get ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're a sucker, and I don't know. I'm not.
That'd be kind of weird to live in that kind of. I mean, we kind of have that here in a way, like the the street hustle or whatever. But
if I was, dude, I'm not gonna lie, like
I'd be down with that.
Like people. Okay, so I'm okay. This is gonna sound anti-Semitic. I'm sorry, really sorry, but like some of the most cutthroat people, just business-wise, to like really have to work with, and that's I have not my dad or anybody else, but other family members who worked in like the garment industry in New York City, shit like that. I mean, Jews have like a real reputation for being very, I guess you can say like adept and they're very savvy and shrewd when it comes to business, and very difficult to work with, especially if you're an outsider. But like when they're amongst themselves, I highly doubt that changes, and I can only I can only imagine doing business in Israel, like personally.
Well, have you ever heard the term "out Jew the Jew"? I mean, that's that's fucking classic,
I mean, yeah, I've heard that. The thing is, though, is that they have like a tight knit. Like in a lot of these industries, they'll become very tight knit, and I feel like, and you look at this with Jews, they tend to go into certain industries, and then they're highly nepotistic and highly favor their own, and they are going to. There's going to be a bitch to work with because of that.
I don't want to insult you, Pepe, or interrupt you, but you're just repeating tropes, which applies to every tribe, every group. It could be Indians, it could be blacks, it could be Chinese. You're saying what applies to everyone. You are. Just say it. Say it with a different race, and you'd be like, oh, well, he's right, actually. Indians do that. Persians do that. French and British and Canadians, they all do that. It's called psychology and tribalism. It's not just because of Jews, Pepe. Who's giving me that X sign? Are you stupid?
Oh, you're in the blender.
Yeah, just put him in the new.
Probably. Have you ever worked with a Jew?
Yeah, I worked with Jews, but never in a Jewish-dominated industry. So it's like these were just people like me. So, but it's a thing. And yes, there are other groups that do this, where they'll tend to maybe have market capture of a certain industry. Jews, it's obviously the media, Hollywood, advertising, specific fields, especially ones that are influential. The garment industry, that's another one. There's different. The diamond trade is one where they're known for. But they tend to. They are extremely tribal, and it's like, yeah, they're not going to share. They're going to want to make sure that their tribe has control over that industry.
You're describing human behavior, not a specific group of people having malicious traits. I'm not going to shut up. You are libeling and slandering a group of people. It's called bigotry. It's called racism and stupidity. It applies to all groups of people, dumbass. I'm not an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it doesn't apply to all ethnic groups. The thing that you also have to remember is they are a very small ethnic group. Tribal identity and like how tribal you are greatly increases the smaller you are in numbers.
So
they're going to be more tribal just because there's fewer of them. I think if like white Christians were only 0.22% of the world's population, we'd be super fucking tribal.
Right. Actually, is the diamond industry? What industries know that they got locked in? Like, I don't. Actually, is that really like definitely for sure the diamond industry? I'm gonna look all this.
So Hollywood's a given. You can look at just the media in general, whether it was print media, it was broadcasting. Here's the thing. If you look at the 1970s, 70% of the ownership, just the ownership, was Jewish. Then if you start getting into like who was also the, in other words, they were so saturated in the media in general that if you start looking at who was on the editorial board.
Wait, I'm sure she'll show up. She makes some good arguments. She showed that they're not Jewish owned, like most of the Hollywood.
No, I said in the 70s.
Oh, you're about the 70s.
So yeah, 70s was at their peak, and so in the 70s. So you have ABC, NBC, CBS, the major, broadcasting channels. Then you have the major publications. I believe it was like Newsweek. I don't know if the Atlantic was. New York Times definitely was.
I got a question.
Then a bunch of the other. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
But a bunch of the other ones, and it's absolutely they dominated that industry. Advertising. What is it? 52nd or 42nd Street? I forget the name of the street.
Thing that is a very real thing, especially from the corporate financing world. Nick, you could probably speak to that a little bit more. Time in business is definitely something, and to have your contractor license established, working on side jobs, establishing your clientele for a demonstrated period of time, that definitely helps you be able to establish and create those relationships, just from like a business development standpoint. You know what I mean?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I never really even thought about a contractor license because I'm telling you like, yeah, I can do this. Like, because I can do it. That's just the way I always get down. I'm from Northern California. They be like, can you do this? Yeah, I got you. Like, I can do this. And I ain't never really been on no like.
So, for example, like apartment complexes.
I do property management.
Right. So, I mean, you could get a job turning apartments yourself. You know what I mean? Like, that's something that you could do. Take it up as a side hustle. Partner yourself with local management groups, pitch your ideas, demonstrate some of your work, even offer them something, because again, this is side money, side hustle. Even offer them something extremely low, to turn 1 or 2 units. They're always looking to cut their bottom line. They did asset management for over a decade. So I'm telling you right now, if you want to position yourself to be able to open up your own business and to be able to gain your own clients just based on name recognition, you need to establish your credentials. The first establishment of credentials is to incorporate a business and to get a general contractor's license.
Yeah, the hard thing about incorporating a business is I got a recent record. Like, not like a 10-year-old thing, but shit, I got an assault that was last year. And then something else that was like in January.
So what are the licensure requirements?
What do you mean?
For a general contractor in the state of Utah? Can you
I
maybe
agree.
right now?
He has found his.
So is there a criminal component to the requirement process? Like, can you not have like a misdemeanor? Is a charge different than a disposed case? What is the level of the disposition of the case? I mean, there's many different things when it comes into licensure requirements. You know what I mean?
He was a boxer.
Oh, I gotta fill out some whole shit to even find out.
I live in Chicago, Dr. Adams, and just across the street from me, some slick Rick developer bought up a city lot for pennies on the dollar and put up the foundation, dug out a hole, put up the foundation, then framed the whole house. And now the tarp is blowing in the wind like crazy, but no one is doing any other work because it's a spec house. And it is on an incredibly busy road. I think they'll probably make profit on it, but interesting strategy to try to buy city lots and buy premium city lots for pennies on the dollar. And if you can get the mayor and the zoning developing commission to even give you grants and basically pay for the whole place if you give them 25% of the units for affordability. So affordability is a scam. As a libertarian, as a scientist of math and accounting, Nick will agree that borrowing to spend to grow an already defunct bankrupt system that relies on taxation to fund other people's apartments is not truth. That's a scam. That's fraud. That's not how you grow an economy. It is politics. I rest my case.
Alistair, you sound like a money man.
It's just common sense. You can't create nothing out of nothing, and that's what they claim.
I gotta have some capital. Like, I can have all the know-how, but if I ain't got no money to back me to do some shit, I gotta keep breaking my money in to get my capital. So if I want to do a job, I can pay for materials and then invoice these motherfuckers so they can pay me back. And I'm not there yet.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. You should probably look into taking up a small business loan and scale.
Man, my credit score is
scale your business that way. So that's why it's probably important for you to establish, a corporation and start building yourself that way. Yeah, to some degree, your personal credit's going to matter, but you definitely want to set the framework of developing credentials and establishing your business so that you're able to take out small business and be able to fund your projects as you're continuing to invoice people and get paid for them.
I just wish it was the world was more like, hey, you're good at what you do and you do what you do. You know what? We got you. Like, what? They gotta be so damn difficult. Fuck. If you've seen the shit that I was building on right now, you'll be like, what?
See, all of life comes down to politics. Your housing, your pension, your retirement, your savings, your lawsuits.
I'm sick of that shit.
Well, it's an unfortunate reality, but it goes back thousands of years. I don't see how right now is any different than what it was probably like in ancient Rome, or ancient Greece, or ancient Persia, or ancient Egypt, or ancient Greece. People have probably been behaving the same way that they're behaving now throughout the ages. But we're just using English.
I was so close to opening the business that I wanted, and then I fucked up and I got in trouble. I was so close. Me and my partner was going in, because I told him, well, I want to open a dispensary. Like, that's what I want to do. I got a green thumb. I'm a master at growing weed and creating concentrates.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what I like to do. But I'm also good at constructing. I have a natural aptitude for building shit.
Yeah.
But I like to grow shit instead.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, honestly, our society and economy is so corrupt and defunct that growing shit is like, highly regulated and guarded in a way.
It's hard.
Yeah. It's crazy. There's no land even in the cities, but there's so much land outside of the cities, but
Yeah, and I lived in North Edwards, California, bro, in the middle of the desert. And I had some water rights on the land and everything. Put a well in, and then I got jammed.
yeah, my cousin did very well in the cannabis industry and made a lot of money. A lot of people made a lot of money in cannabis. P. Diddy owns the dispensary 2 blocks from my house, and he's sitting in jail. But
it's crazy. It's like, if you get one and then go to jail, you're good. But if you have a record before you try to get one,
yeah,
it's hard. It is hard.
They get knocked over. The one by my house, a car has driven through it. They firebombed it. Like, there's never any news about the connections or who did these things or why there's so much beef, but there's turnover. You know, that's the thing. Is I have observed employees who are probably interconnected to like the fire bombings and the rampage and the other chaos, but they make so much money, but they deal with so many, you know, mentally deranged customers. So it's a little bit like dealing with a bar, you know. You always get that one customer who causes 80% of your problems. So that's the difficulty of running a bar, running a liquor store. Is you get robbed, you get shot. It sucks.
But it's just like what you say, like especially with the way that the world is starting to look at like weed now. It is just like a bar. The people come in to get their service. Like the last time I was in Vegas, where they got a like in and out service with armed security. You go in and just show your ID, go in this way, you come out a whole different on the other side of the building. And they have people in there ushering you going, so this is what you can get today, and this is. I was like, when I was a kid, weed was illegal as fuck, and I was like, damn, I should have gotten this thing earlier.
You get customers going in there thinking it's a clubhouse room and they want to talk to your sales associate for 50 minutes. So, you know, I've seen veterans go into dispensaries, start fights, and scream, "I'm gonna, you know, come back here," and you know, etc. And I mean, there's no easy business. There really, I mean, you know, even if you work in concrete and you pave somebody's driveway and they don't like it, you know, it's like you just never know when you're gonna meet that customer who's like, "Fuck you," and you're like, "What?"
There's always that one. That's like so. Working with the company that I work with is what I do like because this job is so fucking big. I don't deal with no customers. You know what I mean? Like we go and we work, and like it's 5 different buildings that are 800,000 square feet apiece. We don't deal with no people. No people come where we're at. We're building data centers, and it's the largest data center that's ever been built. That QTS and Meta are building. So I stay out the way and I just rake in my dough. I just need to rake it in.
It's hard to believe that there's like 2,000 large data centers that are being built. But what I don't understand is the population fucking doubling or something? Like, how the fuck is it all just federally funded and they're getting huge government grants to build these facilities?
So the one I'm at, QTS is funded, and it's a data center that QTS is funded for Meta. It's the largest data center on the planet.
Do you think?
I say it's big, it's big. Like it takes an hour to walk across the building.
Wow.
It's huge, bro. It's huge. It's huge. The buildings are 3,500 feet long by 500 feet wide.
Do you think?
And I do carpentry work, metal work, and I run equipment, and you know I do all these things. But like you said, yeah, I
Who
was
do you?
my own thing.
Who do you
Yeah,
use? Who do you use for your home internet?
Me.
Yeah.
G-Fiber, son.
What's G-Fiber? Who owns that?
I'm guessing Google.
Oh, you use Google Fiber. Okay. Because I'm just wondering how, because I use AT&T and that's done via light, fiber optic light. And that to me is like a fucking mystery, but it seems to be better than the
That's
cable.
what I got too. No, I got that shit too.
So how do all these data centers play into that network? Like why?
We just got a bomb threat last week that shut the whole site down.
Yeah. But what I don't understand is if they build all this extra capacity, what are they? How does that play into the pre-existing network of AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, Comcast, etc.?
No, this data center, it's not this. It's Meta. This is a Meta data center. So if you ain't more stocks in Meta yet, buy them.
I mean, you're gonna have peering points, right? So what they're building is just hyperscalers where they're gonna put a bunch of GPUs, a bunch of CPUs, right? So you can make all your goofy little AI music and AI pictures and AI videos, and matter of fact, NVIDIA created their own switch for inside of data centers that does like 70 petabits per second, something AT&T, Comcast, Cox, those guys wish they could do on wide area networks. But those data centers basically connect to a wide area network that then connects to the 40 gig, 100 gig, national backbone. Just like any other data center, except these hyperscalers, what's crazy about them is just the amount of compute that they're shoving into them, as opposed to traditional data centers that have been around since the 90s.
It's definitely different.
But it's a business opportunity, right? Because now Meta can even sell their capacity to IBM or even to Google, like that ability to, I guess, access, because it's almost like giving access to quantum computing, no?
I just build the buildings. All I do is build the buildings.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, you can use these data centers for alternative purposes. You can use these data centers to do alternative purposes. They're not just, for one specific purpose.
But I'm like, look, that don't got nothing to do with me. We got there's 4,000 people on my job site a day that work.
4,000?
4,000.
Where is that?
Eagle Mountain, Utah.
Oh, you're.
That's the 20.
The QCS data centers.
Yeah, I think that's the 20 gigawatt. They're trying to figure out how the hell they're gonna power that thing.
No, they're powering it. Each building has like 80 transformers that are like the size of a fucking house. And then on the other side, they have chillers. And it's the only data center that doesn't use any water.
Yeah, but listen to what I just said. I said 20 gigawatt. Who generates 20 gigawatts of juice?
So wait, how do they cool it, Chris?
They have chillers.
What do the chillers run off of?
Couldn't tell you. All I do is build shit.
Agua fría ese.
So they use chillers, though.
All I do is build things.
Well, it runs on electric. It's just based off of like your home AC, right?
All I do is build things. Like, yeah, I do concrete. I run equipment. I do carpentry. I'm not an electrician by far. I don't have anything to do with any of that shit. I don't fuck around with electricity. That's how you die.
Yeah, but if you know how it works, that's how you make more money. I mean, I know a guy who's made many millions, and works for somebody who's made many billions building data centers throughout the world, in Japan, Indonesia, Singapore, all around the world. They're building data centers. They're not just building 1,500 to 2,000 in the United States actively right now. They're building 20,000 actively throughout the planet. Am I right? Am I wrong? Hello?
You should look up the Eagle Mountain QTS Meta data center.
Right. So here's the challenge with power, right? So you're familiar with the city of Phoenix?
Yeah.
All right. So west side of Phoenix, there's something called the Palo Verde nuclear power plant. Right. They've got 3 reactors. Those reactors combined only generate 40 gigawatt. Not 40. 4 gigawatts of power. So this data center, this 20 gig data center you're building in Utah, the same one that they're building in Louisiana. Let me review myself. The Palo Verde power plant, which is 3 reactors, only generates 4. Where the hell are they going to get the other 16 gigawatts, right? So this is going to be the challenge with these hyperscaler data centers that are being built all across America, is the grid today doesn't generate enough. So if you take Palo Verde, which powers the majority of Phoenix, right, which is not, in that southwest region, I lived out there, worked in data centers out there. The problem becomes the generation of power to power these things at their max capacity, right? So when they say, hey, we're building 20, gigawatt data center, that means at max capacity we can generate that much, power. Problem becomes is the actual production of electricity, they're not going to stand up. So that's the challenge for us. Whereas no face is generating the power for the demand that these data centers are going to have.
Well, all I know is it's like a $15 billion project, and these engineers and planners, they have an idea, and we're building it.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I'm not arguing. It's not worth building. It's can I light it up to its, full, can I juice the Death Star to its full capacity?
Yeah, I feel like they believe so. And for me, that's job security. As long as they keep believing.
So,
Because I got a whole bunch of, I got like 10 more years of work on this project.
Chris, don't you know that Trump passed a bill that allows Meta and Google to build nuclear-powered reactors next to their data centers?
Well, then I might work on that next.
I didn't see nuclear. The only thing I saw was they could do LNG and other. There's a lot of
people that hate it. Not this most recent Friday, but last Friday, they closed the whole fucking second. Somebody tried to sneak on the site. All kind of like 800 police, like the whole city of police.
There's a bunch of crap on Facebook that these things are going to destroy the world, and your water well's going to run dry, and air pollution because of the generator test. I'm like, shut the fuck up. There's been data centers since the 90s. You guys know what you're talking about. The reality becomes, Trump said, hey, go build nuclear power reactors. Microsoft is funding, bringing, what the hell's the one here in Pennsylvania? 3 Mile Island back online, not the reactor that melted down, but the other two. But it takes years, like for a brand new, even these micro reactors, it's going to take like 10 years for those to be built, get certified, go jump through the hoops to have physical material to actually generate power.
Yeah, to see, that's beyond my pay grade.
Yeah, well, anyways, I hope everybody has a pleasant evening. Dr. Adams, thanks for telling me about this cool Meta Eagle, Utah data center. I looked it up. I looked at the Google reviews, and people fucking hate that place.
They definitely hate it, but it's given 4,000 jobs.
What's interesting... What's interesting is most of the reviews are truck drivers leaving the reviews of making deliveries to the facility.
Oh yeah, no, so the city of Eagle Mountain is like an up and coming little spot. I wouldn't even call it a city. More of a Richie town that's just like all new like track houses that are, very expensive and big and nice. And they get 4,000 people every day driving through their shit going to build. And then, 100 trucks a day. And they're like, what the fuck is this? Like, traffic is fucked up in their town. All because of we're coming there to work. But also at the same time, we're trying to put a lot of money into this shit. So they're mad, but they're not mad, but they're mad again.
Something that need not be discussed in a room full of fans. Let's all just take the deepest.
Yeah, here in PA along the Schuylkill River, it's a river that feeds down past Philly and into the Delaware. They're looking to build a bunch of these, not that scale, not that size, and man, everybody's fighting it. And, the little, they call them townships, like something that's smaller than a county, and they're just like, nope, we don't want them here, get them out of here. They're gonna kill the birds. It's insane. Some of the signs I see on my commute to work. I'm like, oh my God, you people have lost your minds. And one of the local senators, she's like, yeah, we need to wait 3 years, before we do this. I'm like, what? So you can get the credit? So the next administration gets the credit for all the tax revenue that's going to come with these things. They're fighting it, and they're picketing. They got stickers and T-shirts, and your kids are gonna grow a third eye. And I'm like, wait a minute, we got a nuclear power plant like 100 yards away. If that didn't kill us, the data center's not gonna do that. About these things.
A lot of people say
people don't like them. Some people like them, some people don't. For me, I'm just like, I'm not on the corporate end. It's like, you can't not like me. I'm just out here building shit. I do safety. I run equipment. I do a lot of carpentry shit. I don't even do steel work. Fuck is this motherfucker talking about? No, I'm not doing to do no mushrooms today. No, hell no. I go to bed.
a lot of people say I only get 200 years old.
Illinois or federal or Texas state code, 42.6505.
A lot of people say
Wind on my face, it feels like a spark. Talking
Oh my
about
God.
the future that can light this dark. Got my two.
It's away with egregious things too. You feel me? He shouldn't be looking at the next man because he gets just as much love as the next man. He just don't really see.
He need to love himself. But guess what, bitch? When you come from people's children and when you come from women, that's what he. Like, I was like, okay, like, I figured out how to get that money. And so I went through all of these fucking PDFs, extracting this data and submitting it. And I got $60,000 in a week. And he was like, this is so great. And and even so, this stuff should have been billed a year ago. And we had the deadline of 1 year, and so we had lost money from that too because it was just the deadline had been met. Wow. So yeah, he was that he came to me, the doctor, and he was like, that is so greatly appreciated, you don't understand how much I appreciate that, blah blah blah. But yeah, I was kind of this was something that was kind of looming over, and they were like, I don't know what to do with it. What are we gonna do?
Did he? I know, right? It's just crazy how many incompetent people have these make so much money and they're not doing anything and they're messing up businesses.
Oh my God, look at the audience.
Yeah, it's Johnny.
Yeah, I'm testing it. Give her a mod, cause she a plus, and see if she can kick him. Cause I think plus people can kick him. I think.
Do you see?
Trying to kick him.
Who told you that? that's not true.
No, I can't.
Some people been kicking them. I'm like, how can they kick
That's
them?
not true. You can't kick them.
That Alpha girl, whatever her name is Alpha, and she was kicking up the room.
Hello?
How would she? Alpha doesn't have a plus.
What are all these numbers down in the audience?
That's why I'm asking, like, how the hell is she did it?
She's not. She's messing with you. It's probably John Andrew, and they're coordinating to make it seem like she has some power that she doesn't have.
What?
They're friends.
They're gone.
Yeah, see, I just took them all out. Yeah, I figured out how to do it. How he's doing it.
How did you do that? He uses a private browser and just opens up.
Probably also a place you can go. You're the Shah of Iran or the Ayatollah or whatever. You can go to Switzerland as well.
You could also put a lot of illegal money into banks in Switzerland, Adam.
Hi, excuse me, but is this room what's left of Rhodesia?
Hi. Jason, what do you think of this look?
Hi, moderators. I was asking, is this what's left of Rhodesia? Thanks for considering my question.
Kind of like the poofy pants.
No, this room is too gay to be Rhodesia. I'm answering your question.
Those are some poofy pants. I like those Mao suits, actually. I think it would be good if we wore them. You know, one of the best things about the Mao suit is, does this have that? Yeah, it's good protection for your neck. You know, you don't get sunburn across the back of your neck. I think it's very practical.
I think it's time for communists to admit that they like.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is the tax. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a liar. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a criminal.